Hey guys, it's Micah here, and today I'll be showing you Collision in Ableton Live. Now, Collision is a synthesizer that simulates the characteristics of mallet percussion instruments. With it, you can emulate the sound of something being struck, like a stick hitting an instrument, and then you can also emulate the resonance, so the way the body vibrates that was being struck. Having a look at your Collision, you've got your, I don't even know how to say this, excitator, and this is where you decide how to sculpt the hitting sound of something being struck. You've got a mallet bass or a noise bass. You've also got LFOs. You've got 2 LFOs, and each of these you can route to a specific destination. In fact, you can route them to 2 destinations. Just sorry, a couple of options are cut off at the top, and then how much you want the LFO to be routed there. And then you've got this MIDI tab where you can also route things like your pitch bend, how you want that to affect the sound, whether you want your pitch bend to impact your LFO2 rate, all the other options that are currently cut off from the screen, like mallet stiffness and noise volume, or your mod wheel or aftertouch, all those things. I won't be using those in this tutorial because at the time of recording this, I don't actually have that at my disposal. And then you've got 2 resonators, and this is where you sculpt the sound of the body that's being hit. So you know, if you hit a marimba, you hear the stick hitting the wood, but then you also hear the resonance, the sound of the wood vibrating, and often that sound is being put through a tube or another resonating body that just amplifies the sound and gives it depth. For instance, on a violin, you've got your string, and the actual wood, the violin body, is the resonating body. Well, there's also a sound post and a bridge and those things, but I hope you kind of get the simile. And you've also got a second resonator. And then you've got your general controls at the end, your volume and your structure, as well as your voices. And your structure here determines how the signal moves. So whether you want your mallet or whatever's being hit to kind of go through your resonator 1 and your resonator 2, or if you wanted to first go through resonator 1 and then through resonator 2. This instrument reminds me a little bit of Corpus. You can check that out here, and that audio effect is all about adding resonance to an audio sample. So now that we know the general layout of this instrument, I'm going to make a preset and have you along. But my hope is that at the end of this tutorial, you feel confident enough to open up Collision and begin tweaking existing presets or making your own. Right, so this is what it sounds like by default, and I'm going to switch off resonator 1 because I just want to hear, actually no, I'm not going to switch it off, that's just going to stop the sound. I'm going to make the decay very small, that way I can listen to the attack. That's what I'm going to be working on first. So that's my mallet, that's my noise, which you can't really hear. So I just extended the attack a bit so you can hear it a bit better. Stiffness here changes, I guess, the stiffness of the body of what you're hitting. So if it were a drum, this would be how stiff the drum is. So the stiffer the drum, the higher the pitch. I'm struggling to hear. That's better. Oh yeah, just another note of warning, if you're using Collision, things can get really loud really fast, so just do small increments and volume changes and really start low first. Don't like go, hey, what does this sound like? Especially if you're wearing headphones like me. Sounds a bit too whistly at the moment for my taste. Not through that. Alrighty, let's modulate something with an LFO. So let's switch on LFO 1. I think a sine wave is fine. We can adjust the rate shortly. I'm going to send my LFO to my mallet stiffness. It's grayed out. It's right at the top, but there. So that should be modulating this guy here. Right, now that's a bad parameter to modulate because you only kind of hear it once. So I actually would rather modulate the noise filter. Noise frequency. Let's increase the rate. offset it a bit. What else shall we modulate? The indecision is real. Maybe in the noise volume. Alright, now the MIDI tab, like I said, I'm not going to work with because I don't have a control at the moment with pitch bend, mod wheel, and aftertouch. But if you are building presets and you want them to just be extra cool, I really suggest you do consider, MIDI data and how that can influence your sound or your instrument. Alright, so resonator, I'm going to just increase the decay a bit. Right, that's way too metally. The string I don't like, I know that. Let's have a listen. I like the plates, I like the different harmonics. As you may know, things like cymbals are different to things like piano strings being hit because they give rise to kind of irregular harmonics, and that's why they often sound like they've got multiple pitches, or you can't really decipher often which pitch they're on because there are just so many pitches going on. Whereas on a piano or a string or anything with a harmonic series, the harmonics are resonating in a distinct chord that our ear recognizes and already categorizes into one pitch. So this plate, I can hear a bunch of different pitches in there, and I like it. In harmonics, it's just... Ooh, I quite like that. That with reverb would sound really cool, like... I actually thought I'd make something that you guys can use for sweeps, but now I'm thinking trailer music. Why not both? Okay, brightness. A little bit darker. That's nice, a nice drum being hit. I want to pan it. And I'm going to use resonator 2 and pan it the other side a bit. See, that was quite loud. My poor ears. That was my fault. Volume can go down a bit. That's so resonant. That's better. Material. So the material adjusts the variation of the damping at different frequencies. So at lower values, low frequency components will decay slower than high frequency components. So just compare that. It's kind of a cool sound, I really like it. But would I use it? No. I don't know, would you use it? Don't answer that. I want more filters. How do I... yes, I think... Yeah, that does what I want. So I just changed the structure so that Resonator 1 and Resonator 2 are both applied to my excitator, which just makes it sound a little less harsh, a little bit more wishy-washy and airy. And this will just make for some more interesting sweeps. If you take this and render out a pitch like this and add a filter to it, like an EQ sweep, that's just a bit more interesting than white noise. I don't know how much time I have left. I didn't hit the timer, but I think I should just wrap up quick. I think it can be a bit more interesting. Let's use LFO 2. Maybe one of these guys. And the pipe opening. Let's do Resonator 1 pipe opening. Yeah, I can't hear that. That does nothing. That do nux nie. That's also gonna do very little. Pan. Ph. Decay. Is there decay in here? No. And just for some poos and laughs. Let's add reverb. Oh gee, that's become a habit going. I do that to my bird, and now I'm doing it to myself. Hey, hey, hey. Where's my dry wet? No, I want it like wetter. Gonna have to add another reverb on top of that. Sorry if I'm like mumbling a bit. My microphone's been giving me problems. Well, I dig this. So let's package it up. To package it up, I'm gonna have to just drag in an empty instrument rack into a empty track, like here. I'm just gonna delete these guys. I'm gonna call this MW collision air, I guess. And I'm gonna go back here. Gonna copy y'all. I'm a copy. I just shift selected, Control C, went back here, selected, Control V. And now all my instruments are in a nice rack, and I can close it up. And the next thing to do, which I won't make you watch me do, is just to route all these little controls to like cool things. So, for instance, dry wet, it's on 55%, and I'm going to right click and map to kick. And now this thing that says kick, I'm going to change to 55%. I wish I would actually just remember that it was at 55%. Dry wet, and that way I can change my dry wet from the front here without needing to go to the relevant device. And a little like note, I guess, is if you are editing an instrument or preset or something and you can't change a control and it's got this little light next to it, it's because it's being controlled somewhere else. So I can't change the dry wet knob here anymore. I have to go to the front and change it here. So I'm changing it to 73%, and you can see how it changed to 73%. So that's just a tip. If you don't know how to change that, you got to go to the front. And if you want to not have it mapped anymore, you can just right click and unmap from dry wet. So that's Collision, guys. For my mailing list subscribers, I'll send all the presets out at once at the end of my Ableton manual series. And yeah, you guys can sign up in the meantime if you guys want this preset. Otherwise, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you soon in the next one.